Today we are diving into a deep and meaningful reflection on healing from the love that broke you. When love falls apart, it often feels like the entire world has collapsed. The memories stay, the emotions linger, and the questions never seem to end. But healing is not only possible, it is a journey that can lead to a stronger, wiser, and more resilient version of yourself. In this video, we will explore what it really means to heal from heartbreak, how to process the pain, and how to grow beyond it. When you go through heartbreak, the first thing you notice is the silence. The absence of the voice you once heard every day, the missing messages, the empty space in your life where love used to live. That silence feels heavy, and it often brings with it a sense of loss that can be overwhelming. Healing begins when you acknowledge that this silence is not the end of you. It is the beginning of rediscovering yourself outside of that relationship. Pain has a way of making us feel like we are trapped. The love that broke you may have left scars, and those scars can feel like reminders of failure, rejection, or inadequacy. But scars are not signs of weakness. They are signs that you survived. They are proof that you went through something difficult and you are still here. Healing is about changing the way you see those scars. Instead of reminders of loss, they can become symbols of strength. One of the hardest parts of healing is letting go of the questions. Why did this happen? Why wasn't I enough? Why couldn't it last? These questions circle in your mind and weigh down your heart. The truth is, sometimes there are no clear answers. Love breaks for many reasons, and not all of them make sense. What matters is not finding all the answers, but learning to move forward without them. Healing means accepting that closure does not always come from the other person. Sometimes closure comes from within you. It is natural to want to hold on to the good memories. You might replay the moments of laughter, the promises, the sweetness of being loved. At the same time, you might also relive the pain, the arguments, the betrayal, or the sudden ending. Healing requires balance. It's okay to remember, but you must also recognize that memories are part of the past. They cannot define your present or your future. Each time you replay them, remind yourself that those moments shaped who you are, but they do not dictate who you will become. Healing also requires giving yourself permission to feel. So many people try to avoid heartbreak by pretending it doesn't hurt. They bury themselves in distractions, work, or new relationships just to escape the pain. But running from pain only delays healing. To truly heal, you must allow yourself to grieve. Cry if you need to. Sit with the discomfort. Admit that you are hurt. It is in feeling the pain that you allow it to pass through you instead of staying stuck inside you. Another part of healing is rediscovering who you are without that love. Sometimes when we love someone deeply, we lose parts of ourselves. We bend, compromise, and even sacrifice pieces of our identity to keep the relationship alive. When it ends, we are left wondering who we are. Healing is about remembering yourself. What makes you happy? What passions do you have? What dreams did you put on hold? This is the time to reconnect with yourself, to rebuild the parts of you that lost in love. Self-love is at the core of healing. It may sound cliche, but it is powerful. When love breaks you, it often shakes your confidence. You start questioning your worth. Healing means reminding yourself that your value does not come from being loved by someone else. Your worth is not defined by their decision to stay or leave. You are worthy simply because you exist, because you are unique, and because you bring something to this world that no one else can. Practicing self-love is not about arrogance. It is about kindness. Speak to yourself with compassion. Forgive yourself for mistakes. Celebrate your growth. That is how you begin to build inner strength. Healing also requires patience. We live in a world that was quick fixes, but heartbreak does not work that way. Healing is not linear. Some days you will feel strong, other days the pain will hit you unexpectedly. You might feel like you are moving forward only to find yourself missing them again. That is normal. Healing is not about never hurting again. It is about shortening the time it takes to recover after the pain hits. Over time, the waves become smaller and the space between them becomes longer. One day you realize the love that broke you no longer controls. Part of moving forward is forgiveness. Forgiveness does not mean forgetting or getting or excusing what happened. It does not mean letting someone back into your life who hurt you. Forgiveness is about setting yourself free. When you hold on to anger or resentment, you are still tied to that love. Forgiveness is cutting that tie. It is telling yourself that their actions no longer have power over your peace. Forgiving does not erase the past, but it does release the hold it has on your future. Healing from the love that broke you also means creating new meaning. Every heartbreak is a lesson. Maybe it taught you what you deserve. Maybe it showed you what you cannot tolerate. Maybe it revealed how strong you are. Do not let the pain be wasted. Find the wisdom in it. Growth often comes through discomfort. Healing is about using the pain as fuel for transformation. You are not broken. As you are evolving, as you heal, surround yourself with people to lift you up, just tempting to isolate, to sit alone with your thoughts. While solitude can be healthy, connection is also vital. Spend time with friends who care, with family who support you, with communities that make you feel seen. Healing does not mean you have to go through it alone. Sometimes being reminded that you are loved by others can help rebuild the parts of you that were shattered. Healing is also about creating new experiences. When love ends, it can feel like the world stopped, but life continues and so must you. Try new hobbies, travel to places you've never been, start projects that excite you. Each new experience writes your story, reminding you that life holds more than heartbreak. These new chapters will not erase the old ones, but they will remind you that your story is still being written. Finally, healing is about hope. After heartbreak, it is easy to become bitter, to believe that love only brings pain. But healing teaches you that while one love broke you, another love can build you. That love might come from another person, but it can also come from within yourself, from your passions, from your purpose, from life itself. Healing does not mean rushing into the next love, but it does mean believing that love is still worth it. Love did not fail you. One relationship did, and in time love will find you again.